live studio audience for Batavia High School's 4th annual pitch night. Please bring your attention to the monitors above to watch a brief video from the Executive Director of the Incubator Program, Margarita Gajewski.
The Incubator EDU Entrepreneurship Program for high school students is a concept inspired and developed by real entrepreneurs. The program's founders are successful entrepreneurs who want to share the discipline of entrepreneurship with high school students. Neighboring schools heard about the new program at Barrington High School and encouraged us to further develop the program so that other schools could create entrepreneurship experiences for their students. In developing the program, our priorities are: make this experience real. That is, use the tools and techniques entrepreneurs use today to start up new ventures. Secondly, partner with the community's business professionals. And importantly, make this learning hands-on, or to put it simply, learn by doing. We think it's terrific that teenage students have the opportunity to create and fully develop their own product or service. Through the creation of a business, students are creating, in fact, their own learning experience. So real entrepreneurs and business experts serve as volunteer coaches, mentors, and board of advisors in this program. Together with the classroom teacher, they guide student teams through the lean processes of developing hypotheses about a business concept, testing those hypotheses, failing, and importantly, learning from those failures. The program also includes foundational business topics such as marketing and finance. The purpose of all this testing is to ensure that students don't build something that nobody wants. So at the program's completion, I hope you'll all agree that these students have developed some pretty important skills, like creative problem solving, critical thinking, public speaking, teamwork, and importantly, resilience. These skills are life skills. So no matter what students choose to do in the future, they'll have skills that will help them navigate life's new roads. We are thrilled that Batavia High School is a part of the Incubator EDU community, and we wish all the student teams the best tonight. Good luck, and go Bulldogs!
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? All right. My name is Dan Junker, and I'm honored to be your host this evening. We got a great show ahead for you. It's been a joy being a coach in the program in this 4th year, and we've just seen the program grow tremendously under Dennis Puron's teacher leadership, and thank you for that. A nice round of applause for the program. This incubator program is just doing a wonderful job for developing young men and women into young entrepreneurs as they pursue business acumen and so forth in our country and our society and the world. Globally, couldn't use it any better than we have today. So, to that regard, I'd like to invite Brian Gamlin to the podium, please, or to the stage to share with you more about the program. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Dan. My name is Brian Gamlin, and I'm the director of the program. I kind of supervise and manage things as they go. I want to thank you all for coming tonight. I just want to go over a couple key people I want to thank for their presentation and some of their work they put into that. So part of the program, we have a great board of advisors that serve the program, give us feedback, help us recruit, as well as financially support and coach and mentor the students in different various ways. So my advisory board, I've got Matt Novak, one of our judges tonight, Matt Winkle, Jeff Adesco, I know I saw him in the audience earlier, Christine McFadden, one of our judges, Lynn Bayris, one of our judges, Bob Hubbard, he's one of our judges, and he serves as what we call our community champion. He's our primary person that liaisons with the community and helps us connect our coaches and mentors, as well as, I think I got everybody there. So in addition to all that, I want to thank all the coaches and mentors. If you look at your brochure pamphlet for the evening, the program, you'll see all the different coaches and mentors' names listed. All of those people are business professionals from our community that come in and share their expertise with our students, their time in mentoring, as well as coaching them as to how to incorporate key business ideas into their product pitches that you'll hear tonight. those real-world connections for the students are invaluable and part of what makes the program very special. So I want to give a round of applause for all those volunteers. From a production side tonight, I want to thank Dan as our host. He's been our host from the beginning, and he's a great host. Dominic Catero is the Fine Arts Theater Manager for us, and he does a great job coordinating all the details. Theater Technical Services works with Dennis and I as they put together all the fancy background and lights and haze and all the other pieces. And tonight, one of our high school student interns, Colin, is calling the show from the back as part of his internship finale, and we just want to thank all those key people that help make everything possible. One last group I do need to thank is all of our sponsors. There's whether it's businesses, parents, people connected to the program, our partners, they additionally support us financially. You'll see some information behind me here too. These are people that have gone out of their way to also support us financially, and that's part of what makes Pitch Night tonight happen, because that's how we raise our funds that we're able to award the student teams as they move forward based on what they do tonight. So I want to thank them, and you'll see their logos and information scroll through here a minute. I think this year we had a record number of different sponsors across the whole spectrum, so a round of applause, thank you to them for their support. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it back over to Dan, and I think he's going to get us rolling with the next steps.
All right, nice round of applause for Brian. Thank you, Brian. Well, those that you are here to watch display their skills have done a wonderful job. These juniors and seniors are something truly to be proud of. The work that they've put in this entire season and the effort that the community has made in providing coaching and the skills to advance their expertise in this product or service or idea they're trying to advance is truly remarkable. Now, for us to get going, we have to introduce our esteemed judge panel, which are sitting up here. And before I do that, I also want to make mention that you all have a wonderful white envelope that was included in your packet. And that white envelope actually has a purpose. And the purpose is to be filled to continue to advance and support this wonderful program within our community. We're very fortunate and very lucky to have a program like this in our community. Not all communities can say that they do, to have such a great program to prepare our youth in the community for the future. So please be generous, $5 to $5,000, whatever you find as means to support the program, or just if you want to laugh at me a little bit tonight and donate for that, please do so. We appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so let's get on with our judges. We're going to start over here, and I'm going to ask the judges to please stand, do a nice little wave so the camera can see you, because this is a live recorded event. All right? Great. We'll start with Coach Mike Gasperi. Mike, retired head coach, athletic director of Batavia High School. Round of applause. Next is Tom Von Leeuwen. Tom is an esteemed banker for years, currently retired, coach, mentor, judge tonight. Thank you, Tom. Lynn Barris. Lynn, person after my own heart, Chief Financial Officer from Suburban Real Estate, Inc. Next, Bob Hubbard. Bob, Hubbard Furniture, Ethan Allen, retired, I think 2011? 2011, somewhere around there, continues to be active in the program. Christine McFadden. Christine is from Windmill Next. Long esteemed career in marketing. Thank you for bringing your expertise. And Matt Novak, dear friend of mine, Matt Novak, president of BFC, a integrated printing company, does wonderful things across the globe. All right, so we've got a fantastic judge panel tonight. Please, one more round of applause for all their time and effort. Now, this is not your typical entrepreneurial program where the judges are going to test them and they're going to be trying to bid for investment in their firm. Instead, we have a different format here because this is really a continuation of the learning experience. The ability for these students to walk out with the presentation skills to get in front of an audience like this, and the presentation skills to get in front of a live camera. I'm not trying to make you too nervous back there, but that is what you're embarking on. All right? What a fantastic opportunity for them to grow, and that's what this is about. So please, no heckling from the audience, okay? Fair? We have a deal? All right, only cheers and applause because they've really worked hard. So we have 2 phases to the program. The first phase is going to be 5 teams will be coming up. They'll be giving a 9-minute pitch, and during that 9-minute pitch, they're going to be trying to sell this esteemed judging panel who are going to vote on funding for them to continue to advance their idea. Okay, so pretty awesome. So the judges will have a 3-minute period to ask questions, and they'll throw some softballs out there, but they'll ask some really pretty good business acumen questions. Trust me, I've seen this roadshow before. Okay, so it's going to be fantastic. Now, the teams, the 5 teams, are competing for various levels of funding to advance their ideas. So after the 5 teams are done, what's going to occur is the judges are going to go into a caucus, and they're going to choose how they're going to reward or award the 5 teams in regarding to the funding. Now, I want to put a special thank you out to Penrose Brewing Company because they held a wonderful fundraiser which funded these rewards. So thank you to Penrose Brewing Company. Matt, nice round of applause. And if you think that's fantastic, go to the location in Geneva and enjoy a little Penrose Brewing. All right, that's my commercial. Now, back to the studio's live studio audience. All right, fantastic. So, while they're caucusing, we're going to have 5 more pitches. These students are going to come in and they're going to talk about some problem in life that their solution solves, right? And you, as an audience, get to participate. It's a little bit like Disney, but you're going to use your phone, and you're going to be able to vote on which elevator pitch you like best. Okay? Sound like a little fun? All right, that's what we have in store for you. If you don't like it, well, I think you'll like it by the end of the show. So thank you. Righty, I guess we're going to brighten or dim the lights, whatever Ryan Sequest says, okay? Fantastic. Let's get rolling here. I want to start the program, and let's get rocking and rolling with our first group. If we could cue them up. Team Medkit, come on down. Nice round of applause for Team Medkit. Let's go!
All right, good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? All right, let's tell a little bit of a story before we kick things off. So David is a high school senior here at Batavia High School. He's got a pitch in English class in about 15 minutes. He's running a little bit late for this pitch. Running through the halls, he's got everything ready for this pitch in English, stored on his trusty school-issued Chromebook right at his side. As he runs into his classroom, he trips, drops the Chromebook on the ground. Screen shattered, inside damages, a mess. I think it's safe to say that both David's English project and his Chromebook are busted. Hi, I'm Michael.
I'm Danny.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Zach.
And together we are Medkit. The problem that we're trying to solve here at Medkit is simple. Broken and busted laptops at the most inconvenient times for both business people and students alike who should only have to worry about more important things, such as getting their jobs done on time. We have the solution here at Medkit. Our all-new Medkit case is the world's first ever X-design laptop protection that not only guarantees protection from falls of up to 10 feet, but will also provide a little bit of a stylish element to your device as well. And using our device, our customers are guaranteed a safe product, a safe device that will always be ready for them when that next big corporate meeting or school project is right around the corner. So let's dive into the problem a little bit more. Here at Batavia High School, our school Chrome Depot sends out about 14 to 15 broken laptops a week, which most of the time have broken screens or internal damages. That's the main problem. These Chromebooks cost on average $120 to fix, according to YouBreak iFix. And also, a lot of times, schools and businesses, when they purchase an electronic device for their employees or students, they buy insurances, which can range anywhere from $650 to $1,350. And I don't know about you guys, but I like to keep that extra money in my pocket. Our solution is really simple. Like I said earlier, our all-new MedKit case, it's an X design, which also, while allows it to be less bulky and less big than typical Chromebook bags and Chromebook cases that people are using, also allows you to get rid of those Chromebook bags and satchels completely. As you can see, Zach over there has a wallet stored under the X of his Chromebook. Our product is 100% construction-grade silicone rubber, so it'll keep anything you put in under it, like mouses, computer mouses, wires, notebooks, anything along that line. It'll keep it nice and safe while also protecting your device. And also over here on this table, you can see a lot of people who spend a lot of time on laptops, Chromebooks, stuff like that. They'll find that a lot of times their wrists get sore. They tend to deal with things such as arthritis later in their life. You can flip the case upside down when you're not using it, and it turns into a bumper system, which allows you to rest your wrist on the bumpers as well as type with the Chromebook at a 35-degree angle, which will also make typing easier and alleviate pain.
So diving into some of MedKit's future customers, with over 2 million students actually in Illinois and over $33 million spent in Chicago school districts alone, we are focusing on high school and middle school students along with business people. But we're focusing mainly on high school and middle school students due to the fact that over 60% of these students are actually issued or use Chromebooks during their school day.
So our competitors would be something like the Tomblin Briefcase. It's very bulky and very just big. It's basically just a bag. It has no protection for your actual laptop / Chromebook. And then we'd have the Amazon Basic Sleeve. It's just a sleeve that go in to your little laptop, and then if you fall, it drops it, it's gonna break. And then our sub-competitors would be something like the iPearl M case, which is basically just a piece of plastic that's going to go on your laptop / Chromebook, and it's going to stay on there for the rest of your life, and it's going to break either way. And then we have the Cyber Acoustic Briefcase, which is just another sleeve. You can't really do anything with it, and it's basically just something you'd put on for style.
What we decided to change about our design through our process and our 120 high school interviews, including faculty members, is the corner bumper system. We have the corner bumper system to ensure the shockproof system in our case and give that the extra protection that this case needs. We decided to include the elastic system in between the circle and the bumpers because it makes it very easy to take off and put back on. We decided to include the circle in the middle because in our 120 interviews, the kids really liked the fact that you could have the logo in the middle of the laptop of your choice that you picked. So we included that circle so that you could see the HP logo.
Customers have been quick to jump on the MedKit bandwagon. Like Zach said, we've been interviewing students and faculty. Ethan and I recently took a trip down to Rotolo, sat in on seventh grade classes, 3 different 7th grade computer classes, interviewed them. Why is that important, you may ask? Because these 7th graders, as well as 6th and 8th graders, are required to use a Chromebook at all times and always have some form of protection on their case. In the surveys that we conducted after showing them our product, 80% plus of these students said that they would feel safe dropping the Chromebook with our product on it, and 77 out of the 79 kids we interviewed said that they liked our case better than the current cases that the school district was providing. We have an extensive marketing plan geared up for the summer. We plan to hit a lot of local festivals in the area, Windmill City Fest, Swedish Days, the Batavia Football Block Party run by Coach Piron over at Pal Joey's. We want to set up a lot of pop-up shops, pop-up stores, really sit down, talk to people, show them our products, show them why we're better, and then the really important thing we want to hone in on is pre-orders. Pre-orders are a really big thing for us. We want to start getting some sort of funding through these pre-orders, get a lot of orders down, and that'll also help us grow our email list out. We can that way start connecting with our customers a little bit better. Also, we plan to get on Kickstarter somewhere in the near future for a little bit more crowdfunding.
For some of our financials, we think that we can get this 1,000 units sold by December of 2019 at a $1,773 price point based off a quote that we got from a manufacturer in Minnesota called Proto Labs. We think that we can get 1,000 units sold in December, and we're going to price this at $35. In August of 2020, we think we can get 5,000 units sold, $150,000 in revenue, and $80,000 in profit.
So from the funding from today, if we do get it, we have 3 major steps we're going to accomplish or try to. One will be the website, the second will be obtaining a provisional patent, and the third will be marketing and materials. The website will be for online shoppers, also so people know what we actually are, what we're trying to solve as the main problem. Obtaining the provisional patent will help us for protection reasons, so we think that we actually have a pretty new idea on the market, so no one can take our idea. And lastly, the marketing material, like Michael said earlier, pop-up stores and booths, we need the money to achieve those. Mr. Pion, if you could play the video.
Let's see the results. Gotta show the camera. It works.
All right, so I'd like you to imagine a world for a second where David, our student from earlier, has MedKit equipped on his laptop. That happens to him, but this time around, MedKit saves the day. He goes in, aces that English presentation, gets an A in the class, and everybody's happy. So who's ready to join the MedKit community with us and take laptop protection to a whole nother level?
All right, let's give a nice round of applause for MedKit. All right, way to go. Nice job. All right, I know I'm going to jump on this. I think you said a lot of kids are jumping on this, right? Yes. So I'm ready to jump on this. I got to go through to LAX tomorrow, and I think I could use this in TSA. It's going to be approved and everything, right?
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. All right, judges, are you ready to ask some questions?
Guys, I'm curious, and Dan just said it about the TSA. Having traveled recently a couple times through airports in the last couple months, do you have any idea how difficult that process might be, getting a TSA approved?
Yeah, actually, it's not as difficult as you might think. We called and we spoke to a rep from the TSA company, and basically what they said you do is you just fill out like a recommendation form for the company. Like we say, we think our MedKit case should be allowed to be TSA approved for these specific reasons, and then they'll have a board that basically reviews it, and if they like the idea and they think it's safe, they'll just allow it and they'll put the stamp on it and we'll be good to go.
You mentioned a guarantee. 2 questions on that. One, do you really have a guarantee? Is there something you're going to put in writing and actually offer? And 2, what is your plan if user error or something else, it doesn't work, and someone does mess up their laptop?
So on the website, we are going to have a print that's saying if something that's going to be guaranteed, but something does happen, we will have a refund. If something does happen, we get money back guaranteed.
Okay.
One last question. I'm just curious, are all Chromebooks the exact same size?
So actually, we went to the Chrome Depot for our school, which is actually like the repair kit here. We tried on 3 different Chromebooks in 3 different sizes, and that actually fits in every single one of them. And with actually the manufacturer actually holding with Porta Labs in Minnesota, we have different types of silicone material, and we're going for the stretchier parts on the X, if you want to show them, so it stretches more. And then we have a thicker silicone material, which is an 80 grit for the corners, have more protection.
Very good job, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, MedKit. Well, I'll have to tell you what, now that's the way to start a show, huh? Another round of applause for MedKit. Way to go, gentlemen. All right, we've got another good one for you. Next is Honeywater. Come on up, Honeywater.
All right, how's everybody doing tonight? All right, thank you, thank you. We really appreciate the program and everybody being here. Thank you, judges, for being here. We are Honey Hydration, and we are good for us here. Sorry, how do I click forward on this, Mr. Piron? One second. What do I click to indicate? Okay. All right, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we are Honey Hydration, and I want to tell you a little about our story as a company. So we have been working from the kitchen to the lab to develop a brand new bottled drink using only honey as our only locally sourced honey as our only sweetener. We use 80% renewable bottles, no artificial ingredients, and we donate 10% of our profits to Planet B Foundation. Now, why do we do all this? Well, we notice as our oceans and beaches are filling up with plastic, our bees populations are dying off at record rates every year, and humans are feeling weird things in their body that we don't even know what it is half the time. While all this is going on, we also notice people are waking up at a rate that they never have before. So how they impact the world with what they eat and drink, and how they can impact what goes in their own body as well. We looked at all of these things to figure out that the world is ready for a new bottled drink that is aware of all the changes in the modern world. That's why we created Honey Hydration.
All right. First, let's take a look at the customer. You get the athlete. This could be anyone doing any range of workouts. It could just be yoga, pick up game of basketball. Everyone needs hydration, really. Then you get health-conscious shoppers. This could be anyone doing the shopping in the family, or even just a college student. Just anybody who's looking into what's going into their body. And finally, people who are unsatisfied with what's going into their body. Who are aware and are unsatisfied with the current drinks today. So this could be because of the unnatural flavors and artificial flavorings and just high sugar contents.
Okay, I think it's really important to stress our social mission here and be able to visualize that. First, we start with locally sourced honey. We like to give back to our community and use what's around us first. We use simple natural ingredients for our customers as well. Our bottles are 80% recyclable, and this is crucial because your average plastic water bottle is only 21% recyclable, whereas ours would be 80%, and also we're donating 10% of our profits to Planet B Foundation.
The problem we're addressing is the immense amounts of artificial sugars and flavors that are in your common bottled drinks that we find today. Also, the packaging they use is the plastic bottles, as Youngland mentioned, is only 21% recyclable. The average American consumed 167 disposable bottles in the last year, and of those 167, only 38 were recycled. Whether that's due to the awareness of recycling in their community or just because of the convenience of trash cans around them. Also, the bottled drinks, nothing compares to the healthy hydration of water, and that's why we created honey-flavored water, which we truly believe is going to be the next trend. Simple ingredients and simple label is a clear and concise message to the consumer what they're putting in their body and how they're helping the environment. The paperboard bottles, which you see on the top right, are recyclable, and we want to promote body and planet preservation, helping yourself and helping the world around you. And we're sourcing our water from Plymouth Artesian Springs up in Wisconsin. Now in the bottom right, you can see these machines. That is aseptic filling. That's the clean way that we're going to fill our bottles so we don't have to add these artificial preservatives to make the shelf life last a while for retail.
All right, there are a lot of big brands today that people often go to, and often for bad reasons. Yeah, Gatorade and Powerade. Okay, I'm sorry. First, I skipped Bloom Honey Water. I'm sorry. All right, so there are some already established honey water brands out there. None of them have a social mission like us, but they are established. You have Gatorade and Powerade. These are just some examples of high sugar content drinks. With that, you can see in the color that it's not natural. Then you have BioWater. BioWater has a lot of caffeine in it, which kind of defeats the purpose. I'm sorry, messed up a little bit. All right, BioWater.
Okay, so one of our competitors is, sorry, I'm just going to take over from here, BioWater, because it has, people don't know that it actually has caffeine in it too. So when our friend Mr. Piron, at one point he was drinking coffee and BioWater at the same time and nearly had a stroke. But thankfully, he is still here with us today. Also, vitamin water is, you can tell from the color and the taste, it's very artificial. So we want to stay away from that. Essentially, what we're trying to do here is promote and validate those people who choose a healthy lifestyle and make these healthy choices. We understand it is harder to do the right thing than to be completely oblivious to your surroundings or what you're doing to yourself. We want to reward people who go the extra mile through buying our drink. We want to stress our social mission, and we want to appeal to all those who want to be associated with our environmental efforts.
Our available market, as I mentioned earlier, the average American consumed 167 bottles. In all of America, that would be 42.6 billion bottles in the last year. Sizing that down to Illinois, that brings us to 1.7 billion bottles. And as we start up, we want to focus on Kane County locally, and that's 71.5 million bottles. And just 5% of that, to give you a rough idea, would be 3.5 million bottles, which we think we could target.
So looking at some of our estimated returns, how we're looking at moving forward with this. In our year one, essentially the way that we break this down is if you look at the first column, we have single bottle sales, which we are going to be pricing at $2.99 per bottle. And the way that we get to that price is looking at our competitors, seeing where we fit into the market, as well as with what we're doing for the social mission and how people want to feel justified in what they're buying with that. So by the end of year one, if we get our funds and we move forward and with kind of what we're looking at almost 1,500 bottles, roughly $4,500 for year one, which is great capital for how we want to move forward. Second year projection would be almost 4,500 bottles, and then by year three, we want to be almost at 15,000 bottles, simply because we know that our target market is really growing right now, and we want to be able to catch them while it's still growing at its biggest rate. We also have 6-packs over there. The unit price will be $16.49, and then there are year 1, 2, and 3 predictions for how we would move forward.
So moving forward with the money that we would get, or possibly, we want to create an inventory, we want to buy the ingredients and start making the drinks. We want to have an online and local presence, for example, at the farmer's market. We want to move towards retailers like Whole Foods and Trader Joe's. That's ideal for us. And really importantly, we want to launch marketing and advertising, for example, on platforms like Facebook or Pinterest. And we're also hoping that health gurus or people with platforms are able to promote our product for us so we can possibly take this mainstream.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, great round of applause for Honey Hydration. You know, another big round of applause. Way to go. Now, if I think you can get Coach Piron chuckling on the sideline, you've actually probably done a pretty good job, right? Wouldn't we all agree to that? All right, fantastic. Judges, please ask questions.
Do you have any nutritional information like calories and that, which you'll probably be required to put on the packaging?
So essentially, we don't have the exact numbers right now. We do, I don't know if you guys remembered at the beginning of our presentation, you saw us in those lab coats. That was at a place called FONA International. Essentially what FONA does is they test different products, lots of drinks, and they can get all the information that you could possibly imagine, like crazy stuff, chemicals that are inside of it and everything. And we do have a connection there, so we're going to be looking at getting our drink tested very soon for those nutritional exacts. But all that's actually in the drinks is honey, water, and lemon. That's our first flavor. We use that aseptic filling process, so we don't have to use many preservatives or really any. And yeah, they're going to be helping us with that as well.
Good.
How will you coordinate, or who will do the coordination of getting your ingredients to the bottler? The honey, the water, and the...
So essentially there's a place called Pyramid Laboratories, and that's in southern Illinois. Essentially they do a lot of filling for bottles. That's where the aseptic filling is. And they would be in charge of taking our formula, mixing it and everything like that. They're actually way more efficient than we could ever be in our kitchen or anything like that. But they're going to be taking care of getting everything in the bottle, and they have to go through the processes. They actually can't produce something that would be illegal to sell to people for whatever safety reasons. So yeah, Pyramid Laboratories is in charge of that.
Have you calculated what the cost of goods sold would be per unit?
Yeah, so our cost of goods sold is from ingredients, the process of filling it, and from the packaging, our biggest costs associated with that. Essentially, it's going to be about 93 cents. So we're selling it for $2.99, and it's a 93 cents cost of goods sold. So it puts us at almost 200% profit margin, or 100%, sorry.
How does that cost compare to your competitors that you had listed up there, Gatorade and some of those other drinks?
So it's obviously going to be a lot more expensive than something like Gatorade, because, I mean, as you should probably know, as you get more volume, things get cheaper and cheaper, and also they're not using as many ingredients, that sort of thing. They're also not donating 10% of their profits to Planet B Foundation. So we understand they are going to be a lot cheaper, but to reach our target market, we're willing to take that higher cost.
Okay, thank you.
And if I may, we did prepare some samples for you, if you would like to try some. Okay. All right, thank you.
You want to hand those let's hand those samples out. Unfortunately, I don't think we have enough production yet for the entire audience, but the judges are the one that they're competing for. So we'll give them a moment to hand out, but what a fantastic concept. Just the value of the rhetoric that's going on and how they're presenting their product to you. Social value, financial value, recyclable value, environmental value. All these things are things that they've learned in the incubator program. And here comes the samples. Luckily, let's see if the camera's got the faces of the judges. Oh, look at Matt Novak. I think he wants a full bottle. Yes? We're going to have a new Penrose flavor, perhaps?
We already have one.
Oh, we already have. Very good. Excellent. Good. All right. We're hearing very positive things from the judges. All right. Thank you. Honey Hydration and your honey water. All right, next up we have Zeal. Come on up to the stage, Zeal. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, every 2 hours and 11 minutes, someone under the age of 25 commits suicide. Suicide is the third leading cause of death among teens today.
As a student, you remember seeing that one kid eating alone at lunch or playing alone at recess, and it has been this way since the beginning of time. But the difference in our generation is that people are dying, and each year since 6th grade, we have lost a friend in our community to suicide. That needs to change, and Zeal is designed to do so. I'm Crystal.
I'm Ellie.
I'm Lily.
I'm Carly.
And I'm Garrett.
And we are Zeal.
Zeal is defined as great energy or enthusiasm in pursuit of a cause or an objective. This describes our passion because we have built this thing from the ground up, and which is an event-based platform for positivity.
A Pew Research Center study stated 94% of teens report going online daily, making teens the most active social media participants of any demographic. Platforms such as Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and more connect us to information and communication, and yet these same platforms impact issues such as increased levels of anxiety, depression, and body dissatisfaction. So let me describe this in a scenario for you. It's a Sunday night, and a young teenage girl is getting ready to post a selfie taken that weekend as she begins to think, will this picture get enough likes? Will it get enough likes as Tiffany's last post? I wonder if I'm as attractive as she is. Do people even think I am pretty? So this young teenage girl went from being ready to share her beautiful smile with the world to second-guessing whether she is worth being seen or not in the first place. As teenagers, we face this challenge of establishing ourselves personally, socially, and academically. And to help us achieve our greatest level of success, we need a real, true connection, support. We need a teen-to-teen connection.
We live in this generation. We know that teens don't want to talk to an adult or a counselor. During the first phase of our MVP experiment, we discovered that 76 out of 100 teens prefer to talk to a peer or a friend when stressed or sad. Zeal will continue to pass out surveys at small school events to gather information about teen struggles and coping methods. We will then take this information and project it on our website for all teens to see.
We asked 75 students if they believed a teen-to-teen approach to positivity would be more effective than an adult-to-teen one, and not one person said no.
After this, we ran 3 focus groups inviting teens to come in, and we learned that teens want to read, see, and hear how their peers handle common situations. We also learned that it is important to bring teens together in order to unite teens as a whole.
So how are we going to reach that kid sitting alone in the corner? How are we going to attempt to lower the suicide rate in teens? By implementing positivity through our solution, the Zeal experience, where we implement fun, connection, and surprise. Our 3 key elements are fun, connection, and surprise. The first element is connection, where we provide an environment that gives teens a place to connect and interact with each other. And then we have our fun element, where we create an entertaining and interactive environment for teens. And lastly, we have our surprise element that will keep teens on their toes and coming back for more.
Our first variation of our events is our plug-in event. This costs $500 for the school, and pretty much we'll just piggyback off of one of their events, and they have to invite everybody, so we don't do the majority of the work.
An example of this event is our Blacklight event. Schools simply need to provide the number of students and a space for us. Zeal will provide white paper for the walls, invisible markers, and blacklights. Students come together to write on the walls about their stressors and things they wouldn't normally share with others. They also will have fun writing these messages on the walls and be surprised at the end with our big blacklight surprise.
Our second option is our Zeal Signature event. This costs $2,000, and we are planning on selling it to schools, communities, and park districts around the United States. And we pretty much just run this event from A to Z. We send out invitations, location, we provide the entertainment, the food or drinks, prizes, music, setup, and cleanup.
So this summer, Zeal is hosting our first ever community event, as our goals are to increase our social media presence, our community awareness, and of course, positivity.
Our event this summer is a Zeal concert at the Peg Bond Center. We will invite DJs and artists from the area to perform for their peers, and admission will be $3. We will provide our connection by bringing teens together, fun with our music, and surprise with prizes and keepsake wristbands and glow sticks.
The last way one can experience the Zeal experience is through the Zeal Kit, a $10 subscription base fee on our website with a monthly $1 upkeep. Members will have exclusive access to all music on our website. They will have early notifications of when a Zeal event is, as there will be limited amount of attendees. Lastly, they will get weekly motivational, positive, inspiring, and uplifting messages through mail, email, and social media from us.
So what does this look like, this Zeal experience look like for a teen? This is Zoe. Zoe is a 17-year-old girl at Batavia High School. She does have a close group of friends, but doesn't feel like they're going to relate to what's going on in her life. Zeal hosts an event at her school, one of the Blacklight events. She goes, she sees kids writing, they're drawing pictures, they're writing down what they struggle to say out loud. Once all of the Blacklight markers are revealed, she no longer feels alone. She feels connected with these other teens who are feeling the exact same way she is. Through this peer-to-peer connection that Zeal provides, mood is elevated, positivity is promoted, and that's what we need.
The second phase of our MVP experiment was a March Madness event. We handed out surveys as students walked in and out the door and asked them, how are you feeling right now on a scale of 1 to 7? We discovered that 36% of teens were happier after our event.
pretty much everyone we came across wanted to help us out, so we have developed an adult advisory board that we can go to and ask for advice, and they've just been extremely helpful so far, and we're looking forward to expanding our business with them. With our pitch money that we want, we are planning on running our first Zeal event this summer, or the Zeal Signature event. This summer, we're looking at picking out new members for Team Zeal from different schools in our area, and also all of the legal things a nonprofit has to come across.
This fall, Lily and I will continue our education in Utah, Garrett and Carly in Missouri, and Ellie in Florida. Despite the distance that will soon separate us, through technology, we will stay connected, including teens that we will recruit this summer to join our team, who are just as passionate in helping other teens becoming the best version of themselves. We will do this, we will find these teens through face-to-face conversation at our events and marketing through social media.
These teens from St. Charles, Geneva, and other school districts nearby will come together, run Zeal events at their schools, focus groups, and surveys. These teens will strive to promote the Zeal experience, and this summer we will work with our adult advisory board to create a curriculum for our Zeal representatives to promote the positivity amongst teens, emphasize a teacher's role in being inspiring, uplifting, and enabling support for our students.
All right, if we can give it to a nice round of applause for Zeal. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. Now, what a novel idea, an enrichment program for youth, developed by youth. Unbelievable. Nice job. You know, I also want to create a momentous. Many of you have been involved with the program for years now. This is the first time we've had so many young, accomplished females on the stage and involved in the program. I think in the first time of the program, right, Brian and Dennis? I mean, a round of applause for that. That is fantastic. Love to see that in the entrepreneurial program. Okay, judges, if you could ask some questions.
So the teen market and the college age market is a market that marketers and advertisers are dying to talk to. Have you considered doing any sort of sponsorship for some of these great events, or selling advertising space or anything like that to fund what you want to do?
Yeah, we're accepting donations on our website currently, and we really would like, as a nonprofit, to get that tax write-off status, so that way we could accept these donations and have them.
We just need to get a little set up first, then we can start reaching out and getting some more help. But that is an amazing idea.
Is there any competition for what you folks are doing?
There's nothing like us.
Okay.
Nothing.
I haven't heard of anything. I just thought I'd ask.
That's good.
Maybe you knew.
Any other questions, judges? Okay.
No, we're good. Thank you.
Another round of applause.
Thank you very much.
For Zeal. Thank you. Nice job. All right, thank you. Good job. Now we get through three groups, three wonderful presentations. We've got to be so proud of these young men and women who are out here just really demonstrating the skills and what they've learned over the year in the program. All right, fantastic. We're going to move on to our fourth solution and product for tonight, and this one is Zenith Case. Come on, Zenith.
Ever lost your wallet? Hey, how bulky it is? Well, Zenith Case has a solution for you. We combine your wallet and your phone case with the ability of up to 5 cards or less with cash. It's visually appealing and more stylish to make you look great. Some of the problems we are solving are bulky wallets, wallet loss, and wallet theft. With bulky wallets, they're inconvenient and uncomfortable, and they cause hip and back problems, according to Dr. Arnie Ingrist, and they're definitely less stylish. With wallet loss, 10% of the people in the world lose their wallets per year. 20% of those wallets lost are returned, and only 55% of those wallets have the same amount of money as before. Lastly, wallet theft. 1,000 wallets are stolen in the United States alone every 2 minutes. That's 8 a second.
solution to these problems is to create a phone case that has a downward sliding door and is equipped with an interior pocket that can hold up to 5 cards. And it also has the option to hold some cards and some cash. And because your cards are going to be connected to your phone, and your phone is always tracked, therefore it will lower the risk to lose your cards or even have your cards stolen.
All right, market sizing. Through extensive research, we found out that 77% of the American population own a cell phone, and 101 million United States citizens own an iPhone. So that means that 42.9% of the American population own an iPhone. So if we were able to grasp only 1% of this whole phone case market, we would be able to make $504 million. But since we are more of a local business and we're starting out small, we're going to look around the Batavia, Geneva area, and we surveyed roughly 500 people around the area of all ages and demographics, and we found out that 90% of the people we surveyed own an iPhone. That means that roughly 18,500 people in Batavia alone own an iPhone.
Our biggest differentiator is our case is more convenient than others on the marketplace. We have the ability to hold up to 5 cards, and through our research we found that an average adult holds 4 to 5 credit cards, IDs, gift cards. And for those of you that don't hold that many cards, you also have the ability to hold 2 to 3 cards plus cash. It also is hidden behind a sliding door that is seamlessly incorporated into our phone case, so when sliding it into a purse or pocket, it won't snag or catch. Our cases are also less bulky. It's only 5 millimeters thicker than the average phone case, and it's thinner than an OtterBox. It's also thinner than an average wallet. And we found that through our research, we found that other cases in our same marketplace are black, white, gray, and we understand that people like these looks, but we also understand that people like to express themselves through their cases. So we've come up with fun and colorful designs to allow our customers to express themselves as well as customize their cases. Our cases are also more affordable. OtterBox charges $70 for their case, which only holds up to 2 cards, and Under Armour charges $80 for their case, which only holds 1 card. And speaking with our consumers, we found that they would be willing to pay $35 for our product, which is we feel is a good mark to enter the marketplace with. We would like our case to be a more affordable, luxurious item.
So for our early results, so we started our platform here with the iPhone X, and that is the same size as the iPhone XS. And we actually had the ability to make 3D printed prototypes for our case here, and we worked with our design engineer, John Hebert from Dieter Corporation. So these prototypes themselves, the final case will not actually be made out of that. It will be made out of silicone rubber, which is a more protective aspect to the case. So we received good feedback on our cases, and our first prototype, actually with the hole, that is the rough prototype. That was our first one created. And the second prototype, which is more advanced looking, is what we will be sending the injection mold company. But we're actually getting one more final design that will be sent to the injection mold company. So for our visual design, we held an event here at the high school to get our results of what our cases will look like. And we actually spoke with many customers, and we came up with 15 cases, which we narrowed down to these 4 here. So the first and second cases are most preferred for our male customers. And then our cases, the green and the pineapple cases, are most preferred cases for the female customers. We want to partner with the boosters here at Batavia to be able to come up with a customizable case that we can where you can have the ability to have the logo and your number on the case for the sports community. So the events we held here to get the results for what our cases would look like was actually a March Madness event we held with Zeal, and we came up with, we were able to interview customers and surveys to come up with the results we wanted our case to look like. We attended a Night of Hoops event where we gained our email list and spread the word out for marketing purposes. We also held a t-shirt giveaway to be more interactive with our customers. We attended a track event, a Topgolf event, and actually hung posters around the school to market our company. We have an email list of 708 people and growing, and we also have a pre-order list of 115 people, so when we get our company off the ground and running, we have a direct customer base to go to.
All right, so we did the financial projections for the first 3 years, and for year 1, we're going to be staying more local, doing face-to-face marketing. So we're going to do 200 orders, and we think we can get a revenue of around $7,000, with our cost of goods sold being $4,250. And so for year 1, our gross profit will be around $2,750. For year 2, we're also expecting to do more local marketing, but we're going to amp it up a little bit and do 360 orders. Our revenue will come out to around $12,600, with our cost of goods sold being $5,800. And for year 2, our gross profit will come out to around $6,800. For year 3, we plan on expanding towards websites like Amazon and getting our product more throughout the country, not just locally. We're expecting a revenue of around $21,000, and with our cost of goods sold being $6,630. And for our year 3 gross profit, we're expecting around $14,370.
Our next steps will be to acquire the final mold's pricing, and we've spoken to a few injection molding companies and found that it's going to be roughly $4,000 for us to create our mold. And once we get that pricing, we'll need to go elsewhere to also get additional funds to be able to afford that mold. And once we acquire that mold, producing the actual case is fairly cheap. It's only 83 cents per case to produce, which with all the designs and the case all factored in, it costs $21.26 per case to produce, and with our selling point at $35, it's a 39% margin. And we will also, once we begin producing cases, we'll be able to contact our email list of 708 people and our pre-order list of 115 people to allow them to get first access to our cases. And we will also begin organizing pop-up shops to begin selling locally. And once backed by our revenue, we will be able to sell on Amazon as well. Me and my fellow Zenith Case members appreciate your time tonight, and we hope you consider investing in our product and our company. We know you won't regret it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Zenith Case. Nice job. How you feel? Good. Yeah, all right. Ready to sell a lot of cases? How many people would love to just carry not a wallet and everything and carry those? See, look at those hands around the audience. Fantastic. All right, you just had a nice little, focus group there, real quick, right? Exactly. Yeah. They heard your pitch, and All right, fantastic. Judges, what questions do you have?
Your competitors, the OtterBox and the Under Armour, do they use the same materials that you're planning on using on yours?
Yeah, so what we've done is we've researched what other companies like that have used, and since we found that silicone rubber is the one that's most commonly used, because while it is still a sturdy rubber, it also takes in the shock from dropping a phone, and it can withstand that damage as well.
Will it slide as easily as the prototype?
Yes.
Good.
How will you be able to adapt when a new phone comes out from Apple with a little different size or something?
So what it is so we're starting with the iPhone X, which is actually the same size as the brand new iPhone XS. So our case will apply for the previous generation and the new generation. And usually Apple comes out with cases in sizes of 2. So what we have to do to produce our next phone case for the next size phone is acquire a new mold, which we will be able to do after we create some revenue, so then we can produce and go into the marketplace for the new phone as well.
Okay.
How many do you have to produce to get to your price point of 83 cents for the case?
He gave us pricing on, actually with that it does not affect the number because the mold is the biggest upfront cost. So it's just injecting it into the same mold, and that mold is good for thousands of cases. So it doesn't change that price depending on how much we produce.
Okay, judges, we have time for at least one more question. Any other questions?
Your product seems tailor-made for online sales. It's small, it'd be very inexpensive to ship. I'm curious why you chose for the first couple years just to sell more direct and local as opposed to building a website and selling online.
So throughout this whole process, we've been working on getting an email list and talking to multiple people throughout our school and even people outside of our school, and we've built up sort of a big email list and pre-order list. So we feel like once we get this first order in, we have someone straight to go to. It's very easy to get those sales, and then once we can start amping it up a little bit and getting bigger orders, we think it'd be beneficial to go into websites like Amazon and then expand it throughout the country.
Okay, fantastic.
Thank you.
Another round of applause for Zenith Case. Thank you, great job. All right, good job, way to go. All right, another out-of-the-park presentation. It's just remarkable what these young men and women are delivering for us tonight. All right, we've got our fifth group of the night. Last but not least, P2p Tutoring. Come on down.
All right, I am Liam Flatley.
Josh Bodie. Ryan Bergseeker. Matt Franzen. And Ryan Ingold. And we are P2p Tutoring. So it was the first semester, and the very first math test I had was that during the week, and I had a pretty good understanding for the unit as a whole, but there was a little concept I couldn't quite grasp yet, and so I really wanted to make sure I started off the year strong, so I sought out the help of a professional tutor. We were able to schedule on an 8 p.m. session the night before my test, and I wasn't thrilled about that time, but obviously I needed to get that extra help in. And so I went there, I spent $60 on an hour session, and to be honest, I didn't really learn anything new. The next day, in my AP Lang class, we wrapped up about 10 minutes early, and so I got my math work out, and my table mate noticed me struggling a little bit, and he offered to help, and within those 10 minutes, I learned more than I did the entire hour the night before, and that's when the idea popped into my head that the answer to tutoring could be sitting right next to you in your own classroom.
So our solution to this problem is a peer-to-peer marketplace for tutors. So it's the Uber of tutoring, the Lyft of tutoring, the Airbnb of tutoring. So how it'll actually work is it's all going to be based on an app or a website, and it's a dual-sided market. So on one side, we'll have the tutors, and the tutors will have profiles, and they'll have a photo of themselves. They'll have ratings from past tutoring sessions. They'll have their prices because the tutors set their own prices. And they'll also have any other thing they want to put on there to promote themselves as a tutor. And then on the student side, they will also have profiles so that they can scroll through and find the tutor that they need. So for example, if they want a math tutor, they'll type in math, scroll through all the math tutors, and find the one that best suits them. And all the transactions will take place on our app or website, so you can plug in your credit card and pay right before the session. And so on one side, we're going to target our tutors through targeted marketing on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, because those are the main social medias that they use. And we found that it's really easy to get the tutors because they're all motivated and they're willing to do a little bit of extra work to get some more money. And then on the student side, we're not actually going to target the students because they might lack motivation or they might be scared to ask for help. So we're going to target the parents because we know that parents will do anything to help their kids' success. So we're going to target them through Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter because those are all the main platforms that they're on. And so this is a really expandable model. We can bring it into any school because we just bring the marketplace to the school and then we do all targeted marketing in that region so that we don't actually have to have a representative there or anyone there, and we can bring it anywhere we want. So some of our direct competitors are professional tutors, and one problem we found with professional tutors is that they're extremely overpriced, $50 to $60 a session, and there's a big age gap, so they're not really as relatable, and they haven't actually taken the class that you've taken with the teacher you've taken, so they don't know the actual course that you're going to be going through. And then there's online resources like Khan Academy, and a problem we found with Khan Academy is that it's not personable at all because it's all online videos, and there's no you can't show the different way to do something if your student doesn't understand that one way. And then lastly, we have Varsity Tutors, which is a similar model to ours. It's a marketplace, but it's all, again, older tutors, so it's not relatable, and you don't have those people that already went through the courses that you went through.
All right, for our total addressable market, it is 15 million high school students here in the U.S., and our serviceable addressable market is right now Kane County, which is 30,000 high school students, and our market share that we're looking to capture is roughly 12% of our serviceable addressable market, or 3,600 students here in Kane County. And if you expand the 12% out to the 15 million, that is 1.8 million high school students. All right, for the tutoring market, on So in the U.S., around 8% of students use tutoring on a weekly basis, and here in Batavia, if you were to apply the 8%, that is 192 high school students that use tutoring, and 25% of that market, if we were able to capture, is 48 students, and the average student runs 2.5 sessions per week, and 48 students, each doing 2.5 sessions per week, would be 120 total sessions per week, and on average, we're predicting that it'll cost $20 per hour, so 120 sessions is around $2,400 per week. I think they skipped this one. All right, so as of right now, we are running at a fixed rate of $20 per hour, and we're taking a 25% yield. That is what we're currently doing. And if you run those projections for each school year, and there's 39 weeks in an average school year, so $2,400 per school year will get you $93,600 in total revenue. And if we were to take a 15% yield of that, at the bottom you'll see it would be a gross profit of $14,040 per school. And we have no cost for location or supplies because we are actually using neutral locations, which will also limit liabilities, and there will be no cost there, such as the public library. We've ran a tutoring session at Panera, and then obviously at school libraries before and after school, so places like that. And then also the only cost of goods sold that we have would be to pay the tutors.
Our marketing and sales plan is very simple in the fact that this is really centered around the community, and that's how we get exposure of our business, is just through the community, talking with parents, teachers, and students. And so far what we've been doing is talking with teachers to get recommendations for tutors, and we've also hung posters throughout the building just to get brand exposure. And we'd also like to work with the school to be able to just work with teachers to get to we'd like to get on the school newsletters just to get brand exposure and to market to parents and get them to maybe give their student or their kid the extra step that they need to reach success. And we'd also market to parents through Facebook ads, just because that's the social media platform that they often use. And we would also like to expand our business into other schools eventually.
So far we have ran 6 tutoring sessions, and they've all been very successful, and most of them have been ran through the Batavia Public Library, and that location has gone very smoothly. And we can also use the school library here before and after school for additional times if that works better for the student. So far, all of our tutors have been given 5-star ratings, and an early success story of our business is that one student had a D on his unit test in his math class. He came to one tutoring session with us, and after that tutoring session, for his summative math class, he got an A. So our next steps moving on is we would like to form an LLC, and we would also like to file for a disclosure patent in order to get a patent pending to protect our business as we are searching for a larger investor to help fund for the marketplace we were talking about earlier. We would also like to make a new website that we can run transactions through, which will be used via Squarespace, and that new website will just help us to make the transaction part of our business easier as we are still waiting for a new investor and as we are making our marketplace. And then next year, we would also like to expand into other schools in our local area like Geneva and St. Charles North and St. Charles East. Thank you for your time tonight. Do you guys have any questions?
Okay, thank you. Round of applause for P2p Tutoring. Nice job. All right, you can elevate grades, get our entire school system up. Everyone can be using this. Don't roll it out to our competing schools too quick, right? Because we want to make sure you get the good grades here. All right, judges, do you have some questions?
Have you thought about the possibility of franchising your marketplace to other schools rather than trying to run it yourself?
We actually will not be franchising them because of how easy it is to move into other schools with the marketplace, because we won't need to be at the other school because of the targeted Facebook advertisements. There won't have to be a representative there, and we can just move the marketplace into the other school.
And we will also be using teacher recommendations, and the tutors will be sending us transcripts so we can vet out the tutors that way as well.
And what is it exactly that you're looking to patent? Is it the database or the platform that?
It's just basically the process and the platform itself, but there's probably no way we'll actually get a patent on it, but just having the patent pending is what will protect our business when we're going and looking for an investor.
Okay.
Do you have a website created currently? Are you using that?
Yeah, we do.
And did you use that during the 6 trials that you had?
Yeah, it's just run through Google Sites, and we're doing it all through Google Forms. So the students are signing up through the forms, and we're all doing like manual work, scheduling by contacting the tutor and the student, and doing things like that to schedule the sessions.
Okay, judges, we have time for one more question. Any other questions?
Oh, well done.
Okay, fantastic. Well done. Another round of applause. P2p Tutoring. Thank you, gentlemen. Nice job. Okay, if you remember the beginning of the show, we said there was going to be 2 parts. This is the end of the first session. Let's have a nice round of applause for all the fantastic work by all 5 teams. It's really quite remarkable. I'm pretty certain that when I was a junior or senior in high school, I wouldn't be able to pull that off, right? I mean, how many feel that way? Serious mojo going on. All right, we're going to go into our second session now, and these are going to be the elevator pitches. These are going to be 2 seconds. These are going to, or 2 minutes. These are going to 2 seconds will be a really short elevator pitch. 2 minutes, and it's to convince you, the audience. So, judges, if I could ask you to convene into your caucus so you can do your judging magic of the 5 prior groups. And while we're transitioning to that, Brian, can you explain exactly how it is that we're going to use our phones to be able to vote for the elevator pitches? Dennis, can you possibly, while Dennis is actually coming up to do that, I do want to remind you that you have white envelopes with you. And if you've enjoyed the remarkable work and the skills that these students have developed, please support the program and efforts going forward so future generations can also benefit from this program. Dennis?
So at the end of the elevator pitches, you can on your smartphone either go and put that into your browser. It'll take you right to a polling place where you can vote for one of our 5 elevator pitch teams. Or if you go on Twitter to Incubator at PHS, the pinned tweet at the top has a direct link as well to take you to the voting site. It's just, you pick one. One of our 5 teams is about to elevator pitch you right now. And that's how we'll vote at the end. So the audience participation, so if you get a chance to find it real quick, we'll bring them up, and at the end, we'll use that time to let you vote, and we'll decide who our elevator pitch winner is tonight.
All right, fantastic. You. Wanted you to be able to do that and have access to that while you're going through the pitches. And if you're having trouble accessing it, I'm sure if you have a sibling of one of the presenters that have been here today, I'm sure they can help you. I'm pretty certain about that. Fantastic. All right, so why don't we get going here? And the first group to give our elevator pitch is Tacked Up. Come on up, Tacked Up. Round of applause.
So this past football season, the Batavia High School football team has noticed an increased amount of fumbles, and this has been because of a lack of grip on the sleeves that are sold in the market right now. So this actually caused the Batavia football team to ban arm sleeves within the team, and we know this is consistent actually with football teams across the nation. So Tacked Up Gear is planning on stealing the market that traditional arm sleeve companies now are missing out on by becoming the superior arm sleeve solution.
Tacked Up is the arm sleeve solution that will allow players to get a better grip on the ball utilizing a higher coefficient of friction. Along with this higher coefficient of friction, it's also going to protect players from things such as turf abrasion to the skin and nasty diseases such as MRSA that can be contracted through the turf. We've spent this past year of Incubator developing a perfect product that will satisfy all the needs for our players.
We tested 25 football players here at Batavia High School. 19 out of 25 showed enhanced player performance during the drills here we held in the field house. Tacked Up Gear is manufactured with the help of a small local business here in Batavia. Tacked Up Gear also has connections with numerous youth programs all around the area.
These connections allow us to comfortably claim that we plan on selling upwards of 350 sleeves this upcoming season, which will generate over $7,000 in revenue. And now all we encourage everyone to do is hop on the wave of performance-enhancing technology, and everyone get
tacked up with us.
Tacked up, nice job. And they're able to stay within that 2-minute elevator pitch. Fantastic. Okay, next up is Game Peach. Come on up, Game Peach.
Esports in 2018 was a $1.4 billion industry that is growing exponentially every year. And esports streamers and esports tournaments' audiences continue to grow and grow. Colleges are even starting to form their own esports teams.
But students don't have the chance. Currently, students are playing by themselves at their house alone. Competitions like esports are yet to reach a high school level, and some of these kids have amazing skill but don't get the recognition. Plus, schools also, schools don't have the equipment or the tools to form these esports leagues or tournaments.
Our solution is to have a set esports league all across the country where students can either pick between seasonal leagues or one-time tournaments where they can all get together and play each other in a one-on-one controlled environment and just have fun in their time in high school.
But see, there are really no ways to, But see, we're not only creating a platform for students to sign up and play on, we're also leveraging actual opportunities. Gaming in itself is a very, I guess, seemingly lazy and distracting hobby for kids. We want to prove that's not the case. So we want to leverage opportunities by showing that there are real abilities here, such as relationship building, tournaments, and also scholarships. This is a huge one. There are over 200 colleges in the country that offer scholarships, and we want to leverage that too. So not only do we want to leverage opportunities, we also want to create our own, and that is Game Peach. Thank you very much.
All right, Game Peach, nice job. So I've looked at some preliminary voting, and some of you need to start voting, okay? So we've got the voting tally going on. Get out your phones. Like Lionel Richie says, please vote. Please vote. Okay, next up, round of applause for The Box.
Every day in the United States of America, 9 people die and 1,000 people are injured in car accidents caused by texting while driving. Some of the biggest problems that people think threaten the nation are gun violence, drug abuse, and alcohol abuse, which hospitalize almost 200,000 people each year. Texting while driving hospitalizes almost 400,000 people each year in the United States alone. Just last week, a truck driver in Houston, Texas, killed 13 elementary schoolers in a school zone. Those 13 lives could have easily been saved if he would have just put his phone down. And we know that we have the solution that can make that truck driver put his phone down and save those 13 lives with the box.
The box is a 9 by 3 by 5 inch box that you'll place under your right knee next to the center console in your vehicle. And so what it's going to do, it's going to isolate the vibrations coming from notifications on your phone. Also, it's going to provide a secure spot for your phone. So you're going to put your phone in there every time you step in your car, and then you're going to know where it is every time you get out, and you won't lose it. And third, it's going to relieve the temptation to use your phone, so you won't know that there are any notifications coming in. So out of sight, out of mind, that's kind of our mantra. And so with the box, we believe we can effectively eliminate distracted driving. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you, The Box. I think we have a lot of parents that would like to buy those boxes. Good job, good job, good job. All right, fantastic. We're going to keep on rolling here. These kids are doing a wonderful job, aren't they? All right, round of applause. All right, next one. Please welcome Porta Coaster.
Hey, take one. Go and take one.
So we are Porta Coaster. We are a water bottle accessory that attaches to the water bottle. It prevents against condensation and dents and scratches on metal water bottles. How we came upon this idea was one day Mr. Piron was handing out papers, and he placed a paper on our table, and it went into a puddle of condensation from the water bottle, which caused a big inconvenience for us because we had to get new papers. So that's just a little bit about Porta Coaster.
So getting into a little more depth about a problem we ran into, the condensation and water rings on tables were a big inconvenience to people, and it made the table lose the aesthetic look and feel. Our Porta Coaster would also help prevent against dents and scratches on water bottles, so when you dropped it, it wouldn't damage. $28 is the average cost of a water bottle, and buying our product would help keep it nice, which refers to the water bottle and the furniture.
So our solution is going to be a coaster that goes up a quarter to halfway of the water bottle, depending on the size. It's going to be a snug fit attached to the bottom of the water bottle, and it's going to be made out of a neoprene / scuba foam material to prevent from dents and scratches on the bottom of the water bottle.
Thank you all for listening. We appreciate your audience coming out here. We thank you all for listening very much.
Nice round of applause for Porta Coaster. I think if you ever came and visited your children in the school, you would see pretty much every child's walking around with a water bottle, every student, whether it's a Yeti or a Camelback or whatever. This would be a great solution. Okay, last but not least, we've got Snap Adventure. Round of applause for Snap Adventure, please.
Alrighty, so imagine you're a teen and you wake up on a Saturday morning. It's a beautiful day outside. You want to do something fun with your friends, so you check your phone. Doesn't look like anything's happening, so you decide to just go inside and just hunker down on your Xbox.
Say hello to Snap Adventure. Not only we aim to connect teens and young adults into the community, but to also drive traffic and advertisements for local businesses. As teenagers ourselves, we notice that teenagers are always looking for something new and unique to do around in their community.
And as teens, we always have $1 or $2 to spend on something fun. Now, teens are the most active and untapped market in communities, and by driving their traffic, businesses have a chance to make a lot of money. We'll do this through advertising on our community calendar, which is a one-stop area where you can find all the events and activities going on each and every day, as well as adventures, which are a series of 4 to 7 activities where you can have any unique kind of activity sponsored by a business in a scavenger hunt style to find something fun to do.
Snap Adventure will solve the classic I'm bored excuse for teens and young adults, and we will help businesses with where they should be spending their valuable marketing dollars. We are the one-stop spot for young teens, not only young teens, but for everyone else in the community to spend their valuable marketing dollars. Explore what's beyond you, explore what's around you, explore what's beyond you. Thank you.
Great job, Snap Adventure. All right, that was our elevator pitches for the evening. Our judges will be returning after done convening, and I want to just get another big round of applause for the tremendous work done by all these students tonight, as well as their hard work to get to this point throughout the year. Welcome back, judges. Oh, they got sweat on their brows. We're going to see how this funding's being allocated. Fantastic. But before we do that, I'm going to ask Dennis Piron to kind of come up and say a few words.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah. Thank you again, everybody that came here tonight to watch these kids perform. We also, on your way out, if you didn't have a chance before you came in, all of our teams are here this evening. Kind of did a little bit of a trade show, and they can tell you what they've been working on, what their concepts or their ideas are out there in the atrium area when you leave. I want to thank again our judges tonight, but also our in-class judges for our MVP pitches earlier this year, and the pitches that allowed 5 of our 14 teams teams a chance to pitch here this evening. It's getting more and more difficult when we go from, 20 students to 28 students to almost 70 students. It's a lot tougher to determine who gets to come out on this night and perform and make it to what we call our final pitch. Something that I'm also extremely grateful for, Bob Hubbard, who I didn't know this, but when I was in the Rotary Club at age 23, I guess, Bob, here in Batavia, and met Bob, that years later we would be reunited with the program that has done, we think, just wonderful things for our whole community. It's truly brought people from the outside, business people, retirees, current business operators, entrepreneurs, business owners, professionals into our building on an almost everyday basis to teach our classes, coach our classes, but also mentor our students. And obviously, as the program continues to grow, we've needed more and more mentors. And so to have this many teams with this many people working with them, you can see them in your program. Many of them are here this evening. I'd like to give a big round of applause to our mentors and coaches from this past year. And really would like to thank, more importantly, Bob Hubbard as our community champion. He really is the one that lines all of this up and gets all the people connected with the school. Bob, thank you very much for all your work. Again, too, and it's mentioned a couple times, the kids have done a great job. There's much, much more to their businesses, their presentations, the things they've worked on than even what you're seeing tonight. You're just kind of seeing the tip of the iceberg. Very, very good job by all of them. Like anything else, they always call me, I am a coach. I love doing that, but we're doing as much coaching in this program with these kids. And the pride that I have from day one in the class, because you don't get to see everything that I see. And I'm shocked that some of the students are even able to come up here and do what they do, not just in the classroom with me, but in front of a large studio audience. It's really incredible. And again, very proud guys. All of our students, everybody in our program, the growth they've shown this year, whether they're going to go into business or not, go off to college, become an entrepreneur, start their own business, which many of them are looking to do. I'm very proud of everything that's been accomplished in the program this year and what the students have done. So let's give them again a round of applause. So I'd like to call back up to the stage, if we could, our 5 full pitch teams, Medkit, Honey Water, Zeal, Kit, and P2p Tutoring. If you guys could come back up on the stage. And I'll turn the microphone back over to Mr. Gamlin. And just a quick reminder for all of my students, you don't have class with me the rest of the week because we doubled up about 4 days in a row. So some of these students aren't even in my class. They just joined teams. I'm not joking. In the last couple days, I'll try to explain that later. But very grateful. We'll go over the finer points of this Monday. I know we have a lot of seniors. They're coming in to see their classmates for breakfast. We'll have a meeting and talk about our next steps as a program. So without further ado, Mr. Gamlin, go right ahead.
Thank you again, and I think if I remember the story right, the top 2 fears, I think public speaking ranks higher than death for most people, and so for the students to be able to come out here, have the lights, the stage, the audience, the camera, you can't see it, but in front of them is an intimidating countdown timer driving them to stay on time and all that, so well done to them. And Mr. Piron, if you can just kind of help me with the handoff here. So the judges, we met and we kind of went through the order, and on behalf of the foundation and the board of advisors for the program, we have some different awards. We'll do some pictures, and then there's a few other wrap-up pieces. So this one first. Okay. So we have an award for Zeal of $500 for their team. Honey Hydration, an award of $500 for their team. P2p Tutoring, an award of $1,000 for their team. Zenith Case right next to me, an award of $2,000 for their team. And MedKit gets our top award of $2,500 tonight. We'll do pictures and everything for parents in a minute here, but let's call up any of our elevator pitch teams as well. Why don't you come up on stage? And I think we'll, Ms. Piran, do you have the tabulated results? Where's our elevator teams?
I'm watching. I feel like I should go over there. Hey guys, thanks. I'm Max. Hey. Stay right here.
Yeah.
We should probably guys.
So let me hand this back to Coach Piran in a minute.
I'm not really sure how secure my voting process was. There were many votes before the pitches were done. But that being said, our first place winner of our elevator pitch competition, and boys, on Monday, come see me in Incubator, and you'll learn what your prize is, was Tacked Up. Congratulations. So on behalf of our whole program, all of our students, those that are participating in our trade show that pitched tonight or elevator pitch tonight, we'd like to thank everybody for coming out. Parents, if you'd like to stay and do some pictures up here on the stage, we can probably stay up here for about, I'd say, 10 minutes or so. Then they have to tear down for other big events that are coming all week long, and then we could spend about another 10 minutes or so out in the atrium if you'd like to do so. Thank you very much and have a great evening. Thank you.